Hi everyone, today we are going to be talking about questions and statements. Let's start off with an example. Bryn wants to ride a horse. Is this a statement or a question? To figure it out, you need to determine whether or not this sentence is asking something or telling something. Is it a question or a statement? Bryn wants to ride a horse. If it's a question, it means we need to answer back with something. But if it's a statement, we can just smile and nod because we are being told new information. Notice that this example has a period at the end. That's a clue that tells us it's a statement, because if it were a question, it would have been a question mark at the end. This example is a statement. When you read it, we're learning information. We're getting an idea, but we're not being asked to respond. We could change this example into a question. We would just need to make a few changes. Let's see. Right now it says, Bryn wants to ride a horse. If I were to turn it into a question, of course I would need to put a question mark at the end instead of a period. But there's a few other changes I should probably make. I'm going to start it like this. Does Bryn wants to ride a horse? It's getting closer, but there's still one more thing to fix. I'm going to take away this S on the verb want. Let's see how that sounds. Does Bryn want to ride a horse? You can hear how my voice is going up at the end. Now I've turned it into a question. We're trying to figure out whether or not Bryn wants to ride a horse. And hopefully we can find out the answer, yes or no. But without asking a question, we cannot get an answer. There's a difference between does Bryn want to ride a horse and the previous statement, Bryn wants to ride a horse. One is asking and one is telling something. Let's do a few more examples with cartoon characters. Let's see. We will draw Sophia. Sophia wants to tell the class some exciting news, so she is going to make a statement. That means she is going to tell us something. Here's a speaking bubble coming out from Sophia's mouth. And this is what she will say. I lost my tooth. Notice that it ends with a period. This is a statement. Sophia is sharing information with us. She's not asking for anyone to answer anything. She's simply telling us something exciting going on in her life. She says, I lost my tooth. Thanks for sharing that with us, Sophia. Now let's draw Dane. Dane's also excited. He really wants to share some exciting information with the class. So he's going to tell us something. That is, he's going to make a statement. Let's draw a speaking bubble for Dane. The exciting news that Dane wants to share with everyone is, I am excited about my Nintendo Switch. I am excited about my Nintendo Switch. Notice the period at the end. Dane is sharing information with his people in his class. He's not asking a question. He's not trying to find something out. He's just really excited and wants to share some important news in his life. So he's making a statement. He tells everyone, I am excited about my Nintendo Switch. It's great news. Making statements such as this one is great because it helps people get to know you a little bit better. We make statements all the time. We're full of information that we're constantly wanting to share with others. Well, here's the thing though. If we only made statements, we would only just care about ourselves. Sometimes it's nice to ask questions, because when you ask questions, you show that you're interested in what other people are saying. Let's draw another cartoon to better explain this. This time there are 2 characters in the cartoon. Here's Bob. He's got lots to share and wants to make all sorts of statements. We'll give him a big speaking bubble. And over here is Bill. Bill's doing a great job listening, but he doesn't exactly get to talk much because Bob just keeps making statements. It's almost as if Bob is talking to a wall. I'll show you what I mean. Here are the words coming out of Bob's mouth. I like cats. I play hockey. Last night, I ate cheese. Bob has made 3 different statements. First he said, I like cats. And then he said, I play hockey. And finally he said, last night I ate cheese. Well, that's great, Bob, but it's almost like you're talking to a wall. What's the point in telling other people all of these statements if you're not going to ask them questions in return? It's pretty much like you just want to hear yourself talk all day long. You can see the look on Bill's face. He's not impressed. What is he supposed to say to all of this? Sooner or later, Bob needs to ask a question. If he doesn't ask a question, he's going to lose the interest of his audience. In fact, sooner or later, he might not have any friends. People around him might start to think he doesn't care about anyone but himself and just wants to hear himself talk. So let's see how we can change this so that Bob can make more friends and build more connections with the people around him. Let's see if we can help him balance his questions and statements, so it's not just sharing information all the time. Not that we don't care about his cheese festival last night. Here's how the situation might look a bit different. This time, Bob is going to ask questions as well as make statements. And this time, Bill is going to be excited to listen and also answer back. They're each going to have speaking bubbles because when you ask questions, it encourages a conversation, which means information and ideas can go back and forth, back and forth. People feel more interested when you ask questions about them. So let's see. Maybe Bob's first question might be, how was your soccer game? Notice that this ends in a question mark because he's asking something. He genuinely wants to know what his friend Bill thinks or how his soccer game was. How was your soccer game? Look, Bill's smiling. Now he knows that Bob cares about him, and he actually gets the chance to answer back. He says, it was great, with an exclamation mark on the end. Not only is he making a statement, he's making an exclamation. He's so excited to tell his answer. Well, the conversation doesn't stop there. Now that both people are feeling connected and interested in one another, the conversation continues. Now Bill says, did you have a hockey game? There's a question mark at the end of that one. He's asking something back. The arrows just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now Bob gets the chance to respond. Yes, I did. He's so excited, he's using exclamation marks. His voice is full of energy and enthusiasm. Bob's feeling so great about himself that he asks another question back. Would you like to come watch? Bob's inviting his friend to come watch his hockey game. This is great. They're building their relationship, all because they're asking questions back and forth. They're wanting to know what the other person thinks, feels, and has on their mind in general. Now, Bob is so happy to ask this question, and Bill responds, I would love to. Now they can go on setting up their plans, and it all started with a question. How is your soccer game? Instead of just having Bob make statements, I like cheese, and so forth, now they're actually having a conversation. Questions are great for that. They help people connect. They show we're interested, and they also give you the chance to learn something new. There's another reason you should ask questions. Let's draw another cartoon. In this cartoon, we will draw a child and an adult. In this situation, the child really needs to use the bathroom. But without a question, the adult won't know what the child needs. If the child says nothing, then the adult cannot give the child permission to let him go to the washroom. So the child has to ask a question. Otherwise, he can't have his needs met. So the child says, may I use the washroom? With a question mark on the end, don't forget. Now the adult understands what's going on because the child is asking something. So the adult can respond, sure. With that, the child can run along and use the washroom. Now he has permission. Sometimes we ask questions to get permission to do certain things and know whether or not we are allowed to do them. You might use questions all the time at school. May I borrow this pencil? May I get ready for recess? May I go to the library? All of these questions give you permission to be able to do certain things. Let's practice a few more examples of questions. Here's a question. How does this work? How does this work? That's something you might be wondering. You're trying to find out more information, so you might ask a question such as this one. In this question, notice the word how. How is an important question word. There's actually lots of words that imply we are asking a question. How is just one of them. We're going to make a list now of some important question words. Let's write them down together. First, we're going to write down the question word who. W-H-O. Who. Then we're going to write down the question word what. W-H-A-T. What. Now the question word when. W-H-E-N. Who, what, when. Now let's write the question word where. W-H-E-R-E. Who, what, when, where. Let's write the word why. Another question word. W-H-Y. Who, what, when, where, why. And the last one, how. H-O-W. These are some very important question words. Let's practice reading them one more time. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Again, who, what, when, where, why, how. One more time. Who, what, when, where, why, how. These words often signal that we're asking a question, especially when they come at the very beginning of the sentence. Anytime you see them, pay attention. You might need to respond. Ask questions often, but don't be afraid to make statements in return. Balance them. Try and connect with people by making some statements and asking some questions. Good luck!